think we're ready. Weed whacker starts up. Okay, I guess we'll have to speak up a little bit, but it'll still get picked up. All right, call to order, January 12th, 2025. We have a quorum. Myself, Thomas Avila, Mr. William Polhemus, Joseph Rosenbaum, David Miller, and Tony Kitchen. Let's see. Oh, Mr. Mark Watanabe just joined us. And start off with the secretary's report and minutes.
Any questions? What was that? Did you receive the agenda and anything else that's in for, any questions about that? No? Okay. That's this.
Yeah, this mic
It's a
actually.
new year, but it wasn't.
Yeah,
anything
nothing really
to talk about,
Okay. Treasurer's report, Tony.
Oh, wait a minute. Somebody got the,
Yeah, go for it.
what do you call it? Somebody got the,
I move to accept the minute estimate.
I'll second that.
So it was William moved, David seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Okay, for this report,
Yeah, please.
we got off to a slow start. I did not collect slaughter fees at the potluck. But since then, just in the last few days, I checked the mail. I got kind of an avalanche of applications and payments. I'm still processing the mail. I just picked up more today. We'll get to that soon.
I remember.
Oh, Richard, let's see. I can't think of his last name. You see my neighbor, Richard Turner. He said a few years ago he paid like $100 in advance.
He did.
He wanted to know how much, when he owes you, or what he owes, or if he's still good or whatever.
Yeah, I'll have to double check. I think 2024 was his last year. I think he paid 3 years. I think it was 22, 23, and 24. So
Okay.
I think he'll be due for enough, but I'll have to double check.
Yeah, just let me know.
So I can tell you so far, I added up the receipts and we've collected $733. I still got a few more letters to open that I just got today.
That's two, right?
No, that's total dues and donations.
I moved to recess until this is done.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty
That
good.
might be all day.
No,
No,
I
that'll
think
be
it was 2
short.
minutes.
I'll second. I'll second.
All right.
Yeah. All in favor there? Yeah.
Aye.
All right. Yeah, let's recess. Yeah, good idea. It only got worse before it got better. Okay, so resuming the meeting
Well, we-
at 12:18.
Sean just went to the washroom, by the way, so he'd be right back.
Yeah, and we should make a note that during the recess, Sean Farley, right?
Yeah, I'm with that.
Okay.
He'll be back in a second.
All right, so just to recap.
Yeah.
The amount collected in December was pretty minimal. I did not get the majority of the dues until just this past week. I'm still processing the payments that I have picked up. So far, I have collected a total of $733. So we're just under probably half of what we're going to be getting. But I can't really give you the full breakdown yet because I haven't logged everything in the spreadsheet of what portion is dues, what portion is repeater funds. I just totaled up the amounts received. So next report, I should have the up-to-date numbers for everyone. Did we want to go into the budget topic or?
We gotta fill the vacant board position.
Right, okay. All right, in the report.
Okay. Any move to approve? Anybody?
Well,
Move
we
to,
already, oh, no, we did, okay. I'll, move to, accept the treasurer's report, whatever that is.
Subject to audit.
The second,
I'll second it there, and then all in favor of aye approval. All right. Then we'll circle back to that next meeting when more people have paid and you got it up to date there. So next up is filling vacant board positions.
Well, not filling vacant board positions per se. That was done at the election. Now we need to assign
Assign
seats on
set
board,
roles.
officer positions. What's that?
it's on the agenda, it's an installation of board officers.
Okay, on the agenda here, it says fill vacant board positions.
Here, underneath that,
Yep.
Okay,
anyway, we got.
and
So filled with it. It's so good.
Okay, I mean-
Off your weed whacker, bro.
the positions that were open were my position as president. No,
All positions are open on the
Oh.
board except for mine at this point.
there we go.
I
Okay,
have read that.
so
It's
where,
really interesting how that's done.
And I would like to actually correct something that you put in the newsletter. I have a voting position on the board, not a non-voting position.
oh, wait,
So I'm not elected, but voting.
Yeah, trustee.
okay.
I find it interesting. Can I inject something?
Yeah.
I find it interesting that what is in fact probably already understood as far as goals is just a process. A bureaucratic process that's kind of in your part system.
Mhm.
That's all.
It's
I've been
required-
trying to learn.
It's required by Hawaii state law.
Is that
That's
what
why
that
we're,
is? Okay.
why
I just
we are the
got-
way we are.
I find that go, wow, we all kind of pretty much know what we want to do. But we have to wait until this period of time, I
Yep.
guess, because we make an election, I'm on the board.
Hey, Gary.
And then I don't officially become somebody till later. Hey, Gary.
So I'm a little unfamiliar. Where do we go from here? I mean,
Well, do we have any volunteers for specific positions on the board?
I nominate David for vice president.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll second that.
I'll continue my role if it's still wanted.
Well,
well,
did we gotta,
Let's do it one at a time then.
we still
no,
gotta-
let me ask. Is what we had last year working?
I
Yes,
think so.
All right, because if there's, if anyone feels that somebody's not flourishing in their role, let's be adults and talk about it. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
I don't have any beef with anyone in any particular position myself, but
Can I say something?
Of course.
I came to this board thinking that I would be the vice president, but if David wants to do it,
Oh,
because you just got
No,
nominated.
the misunderstanding, I
Sure.
believe, was this, you're taking, not his position, but
Yeah.
necessarily, but his place on the board, right?
I know, that's not a misunderstanding. I
Okay.
know that. Okay, so
but you came to the board wanting to be vice president?
that was the understanding I was covering for this last year.
Oh, I didn't,
But Les would not necessarily be vice president this year.
That's true,
yeah.
but I'm just saying in a more, way. I will do what, I'm only here for you. So I'll do whatever role it is that you guys think I'm gonna do. Right. Because, of course, the lead flow, not about the lead flow. Yeah, I know. I mean, and of course, because I am, hopefully about the team. David
Well,
wants to
let's-
do that.
Then let's start with the roles that nobody wants. There's the number one role that nobody ever wants, that's treasurer. And Tony's been treasurer a long time.
I would serve in that capacity. But my term of the board, I would continue to serve.
True, but I wanted to throw it out there because it's a hard role. It's a lot of work. Tony has a lot of work going on outside of that role. I just want to make sure that Tony's still on board to doing it before we just assume that he's on board to do it.
For the record, I'm on.
Okay.
Do we require a nomination to,
Look, we're in a discussion phase. I think we can come to the nominations by consensus after discussion in a week long.
so,
Hold on, I can't hear you. Sorry.
I just came up with a genius idea. I'm gonna make a leaf eater with a built-in leaf blower.
that's good.
I can't see that not working actually.
No.
So,
Just an
can you hear me? Say, what is a director's role? Is that a nominated role too? A director?
Pneumatics, so just runs up.
It's not exactly nominations or anything.
Give
We
you
just
some of this.
appoint by
That's your
a
next
vote
thing.
of the board.
Okay.
So we can nominate and say, hey, we want a slate list, or we can do it as one position at a time. That's entirely up to us.
Yeah.
How we decide, how we do that, that's not laid out in the Constitution or bylaws. We just need to decide amongst the board members who's gonna sit in which officer's seat.
Okay.
So there's the executive board. There are 7 members of the executive board. 6 of them are elected by the membership, SMIN member. 7 is appointed. William was appointed because he's the
Station trustee.
station trustee. The other 6 of us are elected. They're all correct. We're all on the executive board. Then there's four officer positions: president, vice president, secretary, treasurer. 4 positions. That means that 4 of us will hold the position and 2 of us won't. The 2 that do not hold officer positions are typically just, you can call them directors at large.
Yeah.
Right? That's traditionally what you would call them, director. They're not the president, they're not the
No,
vice president.
It's
they're
not
the
laid
secretary.
out in our Constitution or bylaws. It's laid out in state laws that what the directors are responsible for is they are to audit the club. So they are making sure that the financial records, most important to me, but other corporate records of our corporate entity are being maintained by the officers in accordance with state law. That's their duty.
So, Mark, is that how you understand that role? Okay.
yeah, that's the law
Just
in Hawaii.
clarifying, you guys.
That's the
Yeah,
legal
but I
requirement
don't
for a
know.
board of
Yeah, and
directors.
in
So I
many
asked-
organizations, they actually refer to those positions as trustees
Oh,
for that reason. But the reason we can't do that here is because the FCC labeled one of our positions trustee. So it
Just
would
one
be
of them.
confusing. Yeah, mine.
yeah. Okay.
So, because I'm the trustee of the call sign, but in effect, the directors, the 2 at-large positions are the trustees of the board. They're to keep the rest of us honest.
So, thank you. That does obviously help. In case you better, I don't know what you guys want to do.
So all 7 of us are on the executive board. All 7 of us are effectively directors. But only 4 of us be assigned to office. These not others, really. So
We got secretary, treasurer, president, vice president.
yeah, and just one more point of order. Technically, until a new president is assigned, the old president is presiding. It's president. So Tom and you are assigned to vice president. You will continue to serve. Someone else.
Yeah. And technically,
Huh?
Did you hear me?
Yeah,
That's
kinda.
okay.
and
I know you're gonna see that.
technically, until we see the next year's officers, the board is still in power. The
Still
entire
active. It's not like we go,
I'm still chair.
yeah, without over it.
Now, committees, it's a complete.
Yeah, that's a separate issue.
Yeah,
We are not talking about committees.
But we're going.
But you are currently vice president. You are currently vice president until this appointment. At some point.
I think this loud. I have to go see him. All the way down here, so come back.
How many times have you been to this meeting?
Yeah, I was reflecting on that, coming down here. We all have our, that's our thing, we're all trying to participate.
Okay, so Joe, are you enjoying being secretary? Would you like to continue with that role? Okay. So those are the two hardest positions to fill.
Yeah.
Right there. And we have volunteers to take. So that leaves us president and vice president.
Okay.
I'm willing to continue my presidency, considering I'm the only one too.
Is there anyone who really wants to be president other than those? Well, I think that one's settled then.
I need a cattle prod. Okay.
So that leaves us vice president. We have two volunteers for that, right?
I'll volunteer and stand, but I'm not, I don't want to be vice president necessarily. I just
Well, vice president is the
stand for the.
easiest position on the
Yeah.
board.
Who's responsible for organizing the club activities?
No, that was the old constitution.
Oh, really?
We have a committee for that now.
Yeah, I
A
did.
committee
Yeah,
which
that's
I
right.
chair.
Oh, so, okay.
Yeah.
I'll give the
It is
information to
that
him.
bylaw, so
I
it's written
So
on
you saw
there.
the Hamgram, I
What's
solicited
that?
the members' input for what programs and operating activities they want.
Mhm.
I got your whole year ready to go.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
I
okay.
did it. I quit twice before I
Okay.
started. But what matters is.
If you want to do it.
No, I don't. I don't care about a role. My role is nurse in life, really. What I want to do is get BIARC going. And what I'm going to do is preach inclusivity as a board member, whatever the hell I am. So you guys decide.
Well,
I am not going, I'm going to nominate, if you want to do it, David, then do it.
the important thing about vice president, having been vice president in this club, is that title on paper helps when you are engaging with other members of our community, our partner agencies, our partner entities, the
Yeah.
NGOs and stuff like that. So if that's something that you want to be doing, is out there in the world representing BIARC, that's a good role to have because the title helps when you're standing in there. And to me, that says David.
Yeah, I mean, that is pretty perfect for everything you do with the education and outreach and everything too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
it's,
kind of play along.
Yeah, that's, as you say, it's a credential. That's,
Yep. And then the only other thing it does is it makes you the MC when the president is not present.
I'm here.
You know, like as a director, let's say, since we're being somewhat hypothetical at this point, I'm sure I can do what I can, honestly, to be as polarizing as possible. Yeah, it's up to you guys. I'm here to help fill a role. There's a certain number of things I want to discuss and nominate some people for, but I don't know if that gives me any power to do that.
It does.
Being a board member.
It does.
So I will use those kind of things to kind of change some things.
Well, as of right now, I mean, we have installation of new board members, if that's approved by all, right? I mean,
Yeah,
so.
we can talk about the rest of this, later, but right now we gotta get.
Yeah, we have to get the board seated before we can discuss any of that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but it sounds to me like we have consensus. We've got Tony as treasurer. We've got Joe as secretary. Thomas as president. David as vice president. And we've got our two directors at large in John and Mark.
Okay. Does a motion need to be made?
Yes.
Okay, well, all in favor of the,
Hold on, we
Oh, no,
gotta
somebody
get,
has to- yeah.
move in
Yeah.
second.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. So I so move that the slate I just discussed be adopted as the officers and directors for 2025.
I'll second.
Who's second?
Mark,
Mark got it. First.
all in favor?
aye?
All right.
We do? Okay.
Very good.
Congratulations.
Okay,
Careful what you wish for.
What's that?
so that
careful
takes
what you
care of
wish for.
both of those.
You should see that, Phil.
I mean, that was election and installation of board officers. Okay, standing committees, digital systems.
Oh, yeah.
I'm guessing, yeah, we're reaffirming committee membership
Nope,
and leading.
that's not required.
Leads? Okay,
Well,
But I
even
will-
if it's not required, I would personally need all the committee, every member of every committee, I need that list so I can train it out and
Yeah,
make the
and
report.
I have that.
There's gonna be some changes, I'm sure.
Right.
So I say that we give you that list in the next meeting.
Okay.
You want to
After,
wait?
I can wait till next.
Because this is the thing, can I say, because some of what's on that list about the digital in particular is part of the process of bringing about this tastic
Right,
and a budget,
yeah,
because I held back of being digital chair, that's
Right.
typically right now. I held back on that budget. Remember the last meeting?
Yeah.
A few meetings ago, we talked about a $600 budget.
right.
Well, the discussion amongst Gary, I guess me and Gary are the only two really right now. And there's this some guy from Oahu. Oh, thank you. Oh, I thought you, okay. Trevor. But yeah, I would like us to discuss that so we can get organized, get the budget together, because Luke's putting one together. So can I make some nominations?
For the board or, for the committee?
Yeah.
All right, go
Put
ahead.
them on.
well, it's technically a confirmation.
Okay, because they all agreed to do this.
Yeah.
And we've discussed it. The committee's been working hard together. So Luke is chair. And then Gary, me, and Jason. WH6GXZZ. I managed to talk him into it. I'm very excited about him being. part of the
W six
board.
what?
WH6GZZ. And then there's Trevor,
He's joining
for Peter
that digital system.
and digital
All right.
systems. So we got somebody in,
W six I am,
K6.
K six I am.
which is super cool.
Question. So there's two committees, there's digital systems and there's voice repeaters.
Right. Trevor wants to be on
Yeah.
both,
So-
right, Trevor?
In the last year, we operated as one committee, but it is two distinct committees per the Constitution and bylaws.
Yeah. We want to work as one committee.
Yeah.
We're gonna be better off that way. But, yeah, I think that's it, you guys. Discord. We want some people, besides you, Mr. President, on Discord, because you're to administer Discord and a moderator. So, I think, who was that? Not Trevor.
No, Stefan didn't want anything to do with it.
Stefan changed his
I
mind.
don't know if he has time, that's why. I'll be a moderator or whatever.
We need a moderator. We need
Okay.
somebody able to manage Discord.
Okay.
By our, besides the president.
Contradiction in terms.
I think that's it. Gary, do you guys,
The only
for,
comment I would have is, I know there was other, we moved to Discord. Eighth of the membership or a quarter of the membership moved over. We stopped the emails, so like Mel was on the digital system, I don't know who else was not interactive with Discord and got that leash cut off. And I know Mel had a strong link and other digital activities where we pushed the mesh and isolated ourselves. So I would really reach out to the other last year's committee members and see if they still want to be part of those committees and not assume Discord has been the only,
Yeah.
channel.
Right.
Yeah, because last year when we were over at Pepper Kale, he was still interested, and I was like, hey, if you wanna.
Yeah, but we kind of
Lost
changed
touch.
from Arden to Meshtastic. And then we focused the conversation on Discord and stopped the email. So
I mean, the
with
emails
him
still
flying back and
exist.
forth to
Just needs
Oahu, I
to-
don't know if that cut him off. You know, if we cut him off accidentally.
So we need to keep the emails going too.
Well,
No, not necessarily. We just need to make sure that he knows that it's happening on the Discord.
Okay.
Question. So we've been talking about having the committees, the digital systems, and voice repeaters work together. That's really not the structure according to the bylaws. What are we gonna do? Are we gonna have a separate chair? Are we gonna?
Well, we're required to have a separate chair by the bylaws.
Yeah, so, can we appoint the same person to be chair of both committees, or do we have two separate people?
No, you can have the same person be a chair of multiple committees.
Anybody, feel otherwise?
Can I just throw something just for this time?
Les has a question.
What?
It could be dangerous.
I agree, because, again, continuity. Luke's on it. Let's give him a year. That he wants to see what he can
Also,
do.
having a single chair could be dangerous from the standpoint of a chair who really doesn't give a rip about repeaters. Because more concerned about.
Thomas, Gary has that example.
You get a more balanced management.
Yep.
due to geographical constraints, could the chair come in by Zoom, or would they physically have to be the butts in the seat?
No, you can,
As long as they're present for the meeting, that's all right, I believe. But-
Zoom's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not even required to attend this meeting or the board, or I mean, the program meeting or anything else. I mean, the committees decide how they're going to meet.
I'm twisting his arm to be the chair of the repeaters. He has access to the sites. Knows what he's doing as the employment.
That would be nice. Come on, Trevor.
All right.
The thing is, as chair, of past tense, the thing about the committee is, they just need, somebody that can, personal, like, well, you're a busy man,
Mhm.
somebody that can push the agenda. And Trevor's here. And I wouldn't stop, you're obviously on the committee.
Thomas,
Anyway.
could you get, maybe Trevor would be willing to introduce himself to us all.
Sure, yeah, Trevor Monago, KH6IM. I live over in Captain Cook. William knows me. We used to work both for Pacific Wireless. Currently I'm employed by T-Mobile. I'm a cell technician, the sole cell technician for T-Mobile on the island of Hawaii. So I'm all over the place. I have several years of land mobile radio experience. What else? I used to be a mechanic before, so I've got a little bit of mechanical background. Climb towers a little bit. I have a smattering of test equipment, so I'd like to see more repeaters, more voice repeaters all over the island. Eventually, I'd like to. I came from Oahu, where we used to have a great network of voice repeaters, analog FM. And, you can go most of the populated places on Oahu and talk to whoever else on Oahu. I'd like to see something like that. I think right now we have some repeaters, but I'd like to see a coherent effort to, if I want to talk to you guys in Hilo and I'm in Kona, that'd be pretty cool.
Okay.
Right
At least
on.
you have a good want for that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
needed, definitely.
Yeah,
And
'cause
you hit
we're
certain
out.
points and it's dead zone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
it's-
I know where the dead zones are because for work I'm driving around the island
Yeah.
all the time.
Okay.
So ping pong.
Oh, it's next door.
Oh.
Sorry. They want, hey, they want to make a motion or?
One more question. So Trevor, you probably know that we have a number of available undeployed VHF and UHF repeaters. How's your experience with linking? You do,
So I haven't done any of the IP linking stuff, but I think we have a lot of capable people who I could mobilize to help me figure that out.
okay?
I think it's not a single person effort. I think we get the right people working all together, push a plan, put a plan together and get everybody working on it. And, I think we've seen the power of Discord. Just in the past, 30 to 60 days alone, we've made a lot of progress. I think if we can harness that and put some great minds to work on repeaters, I think we could, get some action going.
What's your call sign again?
KH6IM, intermodulation.
KH6IM. I nominate KH6IM to be chair of the Voice Repeaters Committee.
All right, all in favor?
Are you seconded?
Yep.
Okay.
I
All
cut
right.
it.
I think, don't we still need to have a vote to, like, I can't now, we're in the middle of a, vote.
Yeah.
We'll have to go back and do the same thing for the digital system.
Yeah, we didn't do that
Yeah.
for Luke.
But, so in the
So
vote,
we got a vote?
Yep.
I
I want to comment, I think this is going to be really great because I haven't had the time to run the committee, do the engineering, do the field work, and all of it. I've often felt like I was a committee of one. And
You have been
Too many balls.
lately.
yeah, and it's one of those things that I can do all of it, but only a little bit at a time on each. So where Trevor doesn't have the experience with the linking, I can provide that, even over the phone while they're on site. And I think this is really going to help carry the project.
Did that pass unanimously?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Congratulations, Trevor.
Hello, bro.
Yeah, nobody's more appreciative than me.
I just, continuity again, I gotta go back to that, and you and I earlier, when we first met, talked about, we've gotta work together.
So does anyone have a motion on the digital systems? There.
So I move to, accept Luke, but I forgot his call sign.
WH6GRW,
Okay.
right?
On board.
Am I right, you guys?
I think so.
We've been hanging out a lot, these two, so
Yeah.
we've been discording together quite a bit.
I'll second.
All right,
And then we got Jason as a new member too.
Yeah, we only need to approve the chairs.
Okay, so he can just get on, I just want to make
Yeah.
sure. Because he's got Arden and a bunch of other things.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Everybody approved?
you need to make,
Yeah.
you need,
all in favor of,
Aye.
all right,
Congratulations.
yeah, right on, Luke.
Right.
Thanks, Luke.
Okay, so we have voice repeaters, digital systems, education and outreach. Are we going down the list here?
Yeah.
Okay, so education and outreach.
Okay, yeah, we had a good year last year and we have nothing this month, but beginning of February, we will be meeting at the Kamana Science Evening and continue our program from there throughout. We're scheduled through the year. We're also reconnected with the YMCA for their summer program, and we're exploring avenues with Volcano Arts and Sciences and the Kayal Senior High School. So
That was really good. Yeah.
so we're trying to extend our outreach a little bit more than that it has been.
Do we have to reaffirm that
Yeah.
committee? Still,
Yeah.
we do, yeah?
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
just the chair.
Just your chairs.
Yeah.
I move to reaffirm David Miller, KH6CZ, as the chair of the Education and Outreach Committee, with the thanks from the board for his service.
Yes.
So I want to make sure he's still willing.
Yeah.
I'm willing, got that question.
As long as my Patriots are. willing
Yeah,
to
man, you got a good
forward
team
as well.
behind
I'll second that motion.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Wait, second one
Yes.
motion?
We have two of
To
them here.
reaffirm David to his existing.
I
chair.
thought Mark seconded.
No, I didn't.
There we go.
I was like,
Well,
And Les is our honorary benefactor.
right.
Mhm.
Call the vote.
yeah, all in favor of David continuing.
Aye.
All right.
Thank you. And I have nothing further. That's-
Okay.
Oh, I do have something actually. So, excuse me. Fred WH6HAA is a member of the committee, and myself latched onto a TV monitor. We're contributing that to the club. And that's going to be used in our ongoing outreach as far as providing video content at our science events.
Are you donating that to the club?
Well, we've got a notebook and the monitor at this point. We need program material.
Yeah, but are you donating that laptop?
Yes.
And the,
Not the laptop, but the monitor.
Okay.
We have a variety of laptops available, so, but I don't think the club has a laptop that I'm aware of.
it's not broken.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. We could look at doing that in future, but for now, it's the monitor.
Okay, I move to accept the donation of the monitor from David.
Okay,
Tell me about the monitor.
I'll bring it with me
February.
yes.
If you bring that February, I can bring the half clock in.
Oh, okay.
And then I can plug it in, and I've got now,
Yeah.
so I have a way.
That would,
Joe, did you
I can
give
do
me-
a hotspot.
he seconded?
Okay.
All in favor?
excellent.
Oh, did
Aye.
All right.
And Les just donated a speaker for our EHF, UHF setup as well. So we'll have better audio quality.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good.
The program left, if you're done.
Yep.
I'm done.
So yeah,
So who's doing programs?
I was the chair. I'm willing to continue as the chair.
all right.
And
I just recently took it over, so.
Well, I'll nominate the reconfirmation of William.
Yeah.
Yes.
So reconfirm him.
Seconded. All in favor there.
Aye.
Thank you, William.
So on programs, we had a special request for a primer on decibels. That'll be today. We're going to talk about, what antenna gain is and what loss is and why decibels exist, how they do, what the math is. I trimmed it down because, Tony, you had something you wanted to present?
Yeah, you don't have to trim much. I don't need a lot of time.
Oh, okay.
I'll take whatever's left.
All right.
Leftovers.
And then next month is to be determined. I haven't heard back. I've asked the guys that do the ionogram if one of them is willing to come and talk about the ionogram and what it means and how to read it and things like that. I've got another program that I'm working on, which is all about noise and how to mute the noise. Everything about, hey, here's your HF rig. I actually have a noise generator, of course. And, I'm gonna, send signals from one radio to another in a lab environment, and we can talk about the signal to noise ratio and actually show the members visually on the waterfall. This is what we do if we turn on noise reduction. This is what we do if we turn on some attenuation, stuff like that. So beating the noise is a future one, but the month isn't selected for that. And then we've got a club build project, which is still underway. I was hoping that I'd get some help in designing the board for that, because I haven't spun a board in a while, and I don't know what the current tools are. Maybe the old Spiceworks or something is still what everyone's using, Gerber's or not, but I don't know. But when we finally get the board designed and we get the costs back to the board, get that approved for those boards, then we can schedule that build. So, and then I have a list of suggestions coming.
Cool.
I would like to encourage our president to bring up the topic of committee memberships at this upcoming activity. Go over each committee and ask for volunteers who would like to serve on each committee. If they are willing to serve, we could have those people report their names and which committee they want to serve on to our secretary, Joe. And then we could all, at the next meeting, we could officialize those all in mass.
Okay.
Keep it simple.
Yeah. Best way to go about it.
Also, I'd like a minute just to remind everyone at the meeting that dues are due.
Yeah. That's needed. Yeah. Okay.
Just one more question. if I
Yeah.
could. on the TV monitor, I'll just send a picture and the serial number to you, Joe, and we can add it to, or I'll copy everybody. We can add it to our inventory of, rather than me trying to drag it.
Inventory is actually
Yeah,
making it.
that's-
Yeah.
Tony.
Okay.
So can I make just two more announcements? One is Discord has a polling system, and I would like to poll membership whatever amount of time about the subscription or the gateway, the Kulani gateway. Again, my idea is to promote more inclusivity and bring people outside to our world. Let me finish my thought.
Well, let me throw this out there.
Yeah.
We're not allowed to.
Not even allow subscription based on a Kulani repeater?
No.
So, but you have a membership based system. on
Yes.
it. So why are you allowed to do that if you're not allowed?
Part 97 prohibits subscription based as a part of the commerce ban.
But you're allowing membership, and that's somewhat like subscription. Okay, anyway, I think.
On top of that,
it needs to be debated.
The
'cause it doesn't
membership dictated the rule in
Yeah.
a vote in the general membership meeting 18 months ago.
Right,
The board cannot overrule that. You're going to have a vote of the membership at the next business
exactly
meeting.
what I'm getting at.
Yeah, so
When's
when's
the
the
next
next,
business
And
meeting?
then, let me finish my thought, you guys, before all the, thoughts.
Yeah, but I've been
This
through
is
this so many
emotional thing.
times.
I told you I'd be a little polarizing about some stuff. This is one of them. I've been approached by a number of Hawaiians and locals about that gateway. And feeling again like they're being left out and can't connect to 76. All I'm asking is to figure out a way that club members can feel like they have a vote with this. All of them. Now, let me
be clear
the
on this.
Discord doesn't work too
If-
well because there's not, we have a polling system. We got to figure out a way to do it.
If
That's
they
all
are
I'm asking.
club members, they can use the gateway. Problem solved.
No, but their family, other people want to use the gateway that are connected.
There's a family membership.
I'm just telling you, okay? I'm just being the messenger. Don't shoot it. The other thing is C4FM.
Well, this
Roy
falls
wants-
under my purview as trustee to enforce, and my decision
That's
is
fine.
final.
If you want, I'm just bringing it out, okay? And the other thing is C4FM. Roy wants to host a room. I don't have Yesu, but he wants to open that back up. Apparently at one time it was, it got shut down. And so he is hopefully going to approach you, or the committee, or however that's going to work out, to say that he's got the equipment, he's going to find a location. There was a discussion between Gary, after the tech net. Joe was in on that too. I'm just throwing it out to you guys, because like I said, just with the gateway, I think everybody should have a voice in this, because there are some people in the background talking to me.
Mhm.
Because I'm a board member, okay?
right, so I believe
Just,
the
that's all.
proper way to go about this,
Yeah.
what Sean's suggesting, would be you start with the membership
Yep.
at the next semi-annual membership meeting and see if the membership supports this idea. If so, then it could be referred to the Voice Repeaters Committee in conjunction with the station trustee to discuss whether or not that's,
But I will tell you right now,
Right.
the station trustee
Yeah.
in the position right now, me, will not allow a subscription membership, period. It's
Yeah.
illegal. I
Well,
cannot.
tell that to the rest of the membership, not just me, okay?
but there
Because
are
I'm being the
other
voice of those
options.
people.
You know,
That's all
for
I'm saying.
example, we have humanitarian memberships.
Mhm.
There are options for being more inclusive.
Yeah, maybe those things should be educated to those people, because when the Hawaiians, the locals that were raised here and stuff don't feel like by our supporting them that way.
But even forget the subscription, we could vote as membership, the membership could choose.
Yeah, we could make it open.
To make it more open.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
can do
just saying,
that.
let's create the conversation, guys.
Right, so the
Okay.
proper way to do that would be to bring it up as a motion before the next semi-annual membership meeting. When is that?
Man,
May, right? So we can actually, anybody can draft a motion. Anybody can circulate that motion or start discussion of a motion through the listserv or any other means that they choose to.
But
bring
that,
up
it's a
discussion.
referendum process. The board cannot overturn anything that the general membership has voted on.
But the net result needs to be a motion that goes at the May meeting.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's a good exercise, honestly. To
Exactly.
bring people out in the discussion, because what happens too at Discord, we have 5 or 7 people and they're all chatting away, and then there's 44 people sitting around in the background.
So
So,
let's-
and if you come and whisper things in my ear, like the snake person, or, the puppet master, then, participate.
And
You
any
have a-
other topic can be done this same way.
Mhm.
Basically, you have a discussion, an informal discussion about it, you bring it up as a motion at the board, or at the semi-annual membership meeting. And we want to encourage that as a board. We very much want to encourage this kind of discussion and these kinds of proposals. We want the membership at the semi-annual meeting to have a motion ready to go, so that the membership can vote on it. So I think this process does need to be encouraged. I agree with Sean that, we should go through the motion on this.
I think what kills us, because in modern tech, we have like Telegraph, this and that, email, and we're trying to get on Discord a bit, but there's no continuity, and then there's a little participation. So the difficulty of it is trying to corral all the members out there that do want to say something, but don't want to say something, maybe because they're too shy or they want to be shot down or whatever, is to come out of the closet, say something.
Okay.
I run a net once a month on All Star, preaching this stuff to try to bring people from other clubs, other areas around the state of Hawaii to come and talk story about common interests. So this is a push to bring that, for this club to do that too.
And also, this is a topic that could be brought up at a club activity, just for people that say, let's think about this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Should we be more open and inclusive on that gateway or not? Just
Well,
to get people thinking about it.
But I want to, because we all live here in Hawaii. We tend to be tribal. It's Hilo side, it's Kona side. I maybe even have a satellite meeting in Kona, because Baiar is big island. Big island.
So the reason I'm so outspoken about this, because unlike the rest of you, I actually have legal liability attached to me in what we do with the call sign. So if we violate Part 97 in any way, it's my ass. So the board can't overrule anything that the membership votes on. However, the trustee can and must. So that's why whatever proposal gets made must be in accordance with Part 97. Les, we have member comment?
Yeah, I'm curious. Are we talking about licensed participants or non-licensed participants?
License.
Yeah, licensed non-members wanting to use the gateway to get on Kalani.
Why are they non-members?
That's my question. It's all it takes to get on the gateway. I don't see
think
the problem.
And I think the thing is, Les, that I'm getting from people in the shadows, let's say, is just people who have family members or locals that live, very small number of people. This is not like, hey, everybody, let's advertise our gateway. It's more, and maybe the concession or the term knowledge would be just that exception. Like the GMRS license is, well, you've got us, the members, and then some of the surrounding.
And we'll have to open this up for discussion.
I
because-
don't, I just,
Because when
I'm
we
just
discuss
throwing it
this,
out there.
when we discuss this as members in the membership meeting,
Yeah.
I'll point out that we have a family membership for Bayard.
Yeah, and that would be the time to seek education to say, hey, okay, your kapuna or whoever it is, say they're licensed.
So
This is the
nobody's-
critical part.
Nobody's being excluded. People are just being misinformed.
Maybe, yeah, understand what they can do to bring some of their family from other parts, because that's where that gateway would really shine. You got somebody on Kona side. You know what I mean? Yeah, and they're
Well, like
they're
Trevor,
uncles of,
Right now, can get on the Kalani repeater. He's
Yeah.
he's a member of Bayard
but his auntie maybe has a license and she's,
because we've got the gateway. You can use it on your phone.
How much is a family membership?
$37.50 for any number living in the same.
See, that is we need to really push that thought.
Yeah.
And as is, yeah.
And
think
that's
it's a
where
good
I
discussion.
maintain that this is a non-issue. But we should discuss that as members
Yeah.
with the rest of the membership at the
But
semi-annual membership
it's
meeting.
an issue because they don't understand.
And if there's any kind of hardship or if $37.50 is a problem, we have a humanitarian fund and we can
Yeah.
John, are you willing to
Give a
write,
family member
are you
check.
willing to write up something to put in the handgram that talks about all that?
I'll try. I'm not the best writer in the world.
None of us
These
are.
guys would second that. I'll
I'll
send some things that are pretty.
If you write it, I'll edit it for you.
Thank you, Trev. I'll trust
I-
that. I trust you on that.
Copy me on that. I'll help out.
Okay,
You know?
because let's figure out a way, because again, we want to feel, and because I know the club wants this too, is we want to include people.
Yep.
We are, this is our hobby. So anything we can do to set the mode and make it, yeah, we're on Hilo side, but we are Big Island Radio. So,
Okay.
and then the fact that you guys, we can do that and accommodate our family members, our Kapuna, that's the biggest voice I'm getting from the shadows that say, is we just want Auntie to be able to reach us over in Arizona. And they have a license or
And we
something.
gotta be clear that we're talking about the gateway here.
Yeah, this is the
Anybody can use the
gateway.
repeater.
Yeah,
And I
exactly, bro.
I hope this conversation doesn't confuse people
It's a
into
specific-
thinking that we're talking about the repeater, because we're not. We're
Yeah.
talking about the gateway.
And a
This
point-
is Williams link to the gateway he has now in his QTH still, that we're supposed to put a pepper kale someday, right?
Yeah, and actually there's progress on that, there's progress on that. The state is actually paying me to go put up Byards Link. Because
Really?
we were gonna share the bandwidth with them.
Yeah,
And so there's been a hurdle with the county. But if it becomes a state project, they get the bandwidth they want.
yeah.
So they said, okay, we'll just make this a state installation. You go install it. So that microwave link will come up as soon as their PO comes through.
Yeah, it's awesome news. And I know that Luke has some things he wants to talk some story about regarding pepper kale, so.
Okay, so what's next?
One quick one, Gary there. Gary.
William kind of squashed, I said, right now, the gateway that's being hosted at William's house and the quality of the connection, I don't know if it could support a lot of members even. I haven't used it because I didn't want to log down that connection and then.
Oh, no, the connection has the bandwidth. The current problem is I haven't had a chance to switch it from using the old surplus Motorola radio that sits on my bench for testing, which is what I built the gateway with because it was there for testing. I need to switch that over to a radio that supports core and a CPCSS high pin. Once we do that, then the performance issues where occasionally you miss a transmission from the repeater should resolve, because then the controller will actually know, oh, the radio is receiving core and its tone. I should unmute. Whereas right now, it's essentially operating as enhanced bots.
And you're linked to Starlink? Is that?
No, it will not work through Starlink. I have
Oh,
tried.
You tried that?
So
Because I saw some.
I
fitment for that.
can do it, but it requires a proxy.
Okay.
And
Those
the
are
latency
equipment I
gets so bad, it's been problematic. So it's currently using my FirstNet hotspot, which has a static IP.
saw. Oh,
And FirstNet's poor performance as it is,
yeah.
but yeah, so, but long-term, the plan is that it will be installed headless, so no radio attached to it at all, to the repeater controller at Petakeya. So it will take the link repeater traffic straight into the gateway.
Okay, sweet. There was one more on the standing committees, the public service communications. We didn't go over that one. I don't even know who's the head of that.
It was Les, but Les
So we need somebody to,
retired from. Les, did you retire from your committee positions?
I guess I'd like to sit on the committee, but I'd like somebody else to be here.
Okay.
But, you know,
Do you have,
if nobody else sits on the committee,
Can-
I don't have much place.
can we, until we can identify a replacement for you and chair, hopefully by the
I
next
hope to do
meeting?
something this year.
Yep. But will you sit in it for the interim?
Yeah.
Okay.
I move to accept Les as the chair of the Public Service Communications Committee.
I'll second.
all right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Okay,
Operating activity.
yeah, we still have to do operating activities. So operating activities, who's the head of that?
Me.
You, oh,
Okay,
how you doing? You want to keep going?
sure. Okay. So operating activities so far for this year, we got Field Day, CQ Worldwide, SSB, and probably a Fox Hunt in conjunction with Field Day. And I'm trying to get more member input because I haven't had any operating activities. So that's why I planned so far. As far as budget is for them concerned, I think, did I send you the budget? Did I send you the budget to you by email?
I don't remember seeing it.
Okay.
Maybe I missed it.
Anyway, I'm figuring hopefully we should be able to get into Waialawa State Park, the last one we went to, in the Wedding Pavilion. I looked up the next, field day, I believe, is open, right now, but you gotta wait until 90 days or whatever before to actually be able to reserve it. But as it is, same price, $30 to, rent the park. It's $50 deposit and $8 of administrative fee or whatever. But we're getting the $50 back, so it's only $38 really to rent the park. And I'm going a little bit above just in case things prices rise. So I'm saying it's 88, with deposit and the 162 for other stuff. That's 250 for each one, each thing. So total 500 for the year. I don't know what you guys think.
I would like to propose that we take these numbers and crunch them because I haven't got the updated information yet on the membership and everything else. And then
Yep,
we
and we
pass the
still,
budget.
we still have to approve an entire budget
Yeah,
for the
let's-
club.
let's,
And I don't think we're gonna get through that today.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna have to
Defer
kick the
that
can
till
until
the
next meeting.
Okay.
But in the meantime, are you willing to stay on as program chair? Programs operating activity chair? All right, I move that, we confirm Joe as another year as the chair
I'll
of
second it.
operating activities.
All right,
You second?
I'll second it, yeah.
all in favor of Joe
Aye.
continuing. All right.
In favor with thanks.
Yep, thank you, Joe.
Okay, so then I formally move to table approving the budget until next meeting.
I'll second that.
All right, yeah. All in favor of tabling till the next
Aye.
meeting. All right, cool.
So
Good.
Trevor, let's talk about budget for the Voice Repeaters Committee for next year. And let's tie that in with Luke and Digital Systems.
So
And make sure that we're supporting each
eventually,
other.
when you guys have a proposal, it needs to come to me as treasurer.
Yep, but we need that like within the next 2
Yeah.
weeks because we got to get ready for the next board meeting.
Just speaking for Luke and Gary, we are planning on meeting and talking some story and putting it together, so.
Yeah, I think there was a, I thought we were planning on when it was due, so we were just trying to throw some numbers out there.
Yeah.
And do fundraiser for the rest of it. If Luke has a little more time, I think, he can put together what's needed for each site.
Yeah, we got a pretty good idea. We just wanna, make sure, and in light of what you were just saying too, I realize in my role, there's an overall funding reality here. We all want our projects to work, but
Well,
there's
and
only
also
so
the,
much money.
the club has a very limited budget.
Yeah.
We did change the repeater fund to the infrastructure fund a couple years ago.
Bigger, yeah.
And that allows the Digital Systems Committee to use those funds as well. So
That's cool.
So February 9th is the next meeting, and as long as those budgets are submitted, like within, say, 3 days of that meeting, I could probably get it all into a spreadsheet for the board to approve at the February 9th meeting.
So yeah, we're gonna table the approval until next meeting. But other new business was the education and outreach and VOAD renewal and club representation of.
So I move that we renew our membership with, it's just VOAD, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'd like to thank David Miller. He volunteered to pay the $25 membership for this year.
Would you like reimbursement?
I'm sorry.
Would you like reimbursement?
No, it's for
Okay, thank you
donation.
for your donation.
Yeah, thank you.
So William moved and who seconded?
Nobody yet.
I'll second.
All right, well, yes. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
And then there's the other issue of representation. There's an appointee that attends the meetings. And Tony and I have the representatives for BIARC at those meetings.
So I move to retain David as our primary representative and Tony as our alternate representative to VOAB and their members.
Yep. So all in favor of them continuing the service?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, thank
And the
you.
importance of that
All
vote
right.
is that they can engage in arm's length without having to come through the board for every.
That's awesome.
Let's see,
Guys, I have.
other business.
Well, I think we're done.
Sorry, I
right?
just.
Well, there was one more
I cut my
thing,
back, I
the,
just gotta-
the grounding material there that
Oh, that was,
approved by.
You want to excuse.
So that,
Oh.
Yeah,
I believe that was,
I have to go see if I
Jim.
can come right back.
Okay, yeah.
yeah, Jim, you got it.
Yeah, I got.
EMS.
Med pass.
Yeah.
Joe, make him, no, Sean.
Sean, yeah, Sean.
But I, Jim, did you have an update on the ground enhancing material, the gem concrete from,
I checked with, I went to Alpha Electric and I talked to the guy, Tony told me, he said it would probably was great, it would probably be about $35 a bag. But he told me that Hirayama got in 90 bags, they got one full pallet in.
Mhm.
So in the meantime, if somebody or a group of people want something, we should probably just approach Hirayama and possibly buy it from them. Somebody has a rush to get some.
Yeah, so-
He's gonna charge me more than $35.
when I used to buy a bunch of it, what I used to do is I would, the manager's no longer the same guy at Alpha, but I used to go in and be like, hey, the next time somebody places an order, which is usually Ed, would you please throw whatever balance that he had? Because he'd order like half a pallet or 2/3 of a pallet. I'd say make it a full pallet and I'll buy the rest. So we could do that.
Yeah, I told him I would just try and get a general idea. I was gonna make something up for the February newsletter and try and get some input from there and get some feedback, because I don't imagine Terry Young's gonna run out too quick.
Okay.
Then we can put an order in when we have at least a fair idea of how many people are interested in how many bags. That we could possibly piggyback with Terry Young.
I also have a recipe for making your own using bagged concrete. Bagged concrete, like Quikrete from Home Depot.
Where do you go with that?
You order it.
Oh,
Yeah, you can buy
in a
by
bucket.
the, yeah, by
You
the
can buy a
bucket.
5-gallon bucket of the stuff and make
Yeah.
tons of bags of worth of gems.
that might be a better deal for us.
That might actually be a good one for a Hamgram.
Gem is
cooler.
nice.
Really?
Gem is nice when you've got a small project. If
Mhm.
you're doing something larger, like doing your whole QTH with good grounding,
Mhm.
then buying some bags and doing some concrete, doing some top carbon fiber, and doing some dry graphite. And there's a couple of other things in there that you add to. Works.
Well, that's good.
Like that idea.
Okay, yeah, I mean, okay,
Yeah, so Gem is good for guys like Ed because he's doing usually like 1 ground rod, 2 ground rods, something like that. So you use 1 bag for 1 ground rod.
Yeah.
So that's different if you're trying to do RF
yeah,
level of safety grounds.
okay, well,
For what, anyone who's interested, look up Ufer Ground, UFER Ground.
Yep.
It's concrete.
But for ground in Hawaii actually works better if you stabilize the soil with Gem.
Yeah, I understand it's more conductivity than that.
Yep.
okay. Well, I think that was it there. Go ahead and,
I'll move to adjourn.
there we go. All right, all in favor, or yes, seconded. There we go. All in favor.
Who's second?
You do.
I did, okay.
All right, we'll go ahead and
Okay.
adjourn and,
Okay, I'm gonna use the recording.
Good meeting, Tom.
well, it was only because of you guys.
All right.